Hey guys, welcome to episode 25 of NEPA Story. We're so excited you are here and tuning in. And today we spotlight Jamie Byrd, who is an assistant executive director at Camp Freedom, which is an outdoor adventure site for disabled veterans, first responders, their families, and Gold Star families. I'm so excited to chat with you. And it seems like you are doing some amazing stuff with Camp Freedom that I can't wait to discuss with you. I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time.
Well, thank you very much, Kylie. It's an absolute honor to be asked to be on your podcast and to be able to share with you and with the folks out there about Camp Freedom and what we have to offer here.
And it definitely is such an amazing organization. But in case no one is kind of familiar with Camp Freedom, can you tell us more about it and what you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. Is it so? We have been here on the grounds for the past 6 years. So we have a total of 2,350 acres where we serve disabled veterans, first responders, their families, and Gold Star family members. And we provide this space so that people can just come here and enjoy the outdoors. And so if you can do an outdoor activity and can imagine it, is that we allow people to come here and do it with us. And so that's everything from bird watching to mushroom identification, hiking, biking. We've had people come up here and snowshoe before, to cross country ski, to hunting and fishing, and all kinds of shooting sports in between. So we really want to provide this outdoor space where our disabled veterans and our true American heroes can come up here, just enjoy the space with themselves, their families, and their friends, and you have that peer-to-peer interaction with either people that are here. Is that our staff here is made up of 11 people. All of us are either veterans or family members of veterans or first responders. So we have that understanding, we have that knowledge and know-how of what that entails, and so we want them to spend time with us, have that peer-to-peer interaction, just build camaraderie and fellowship from it. So.
That's really awesome. Like I know when I came across that, I'm like, okay, this is something that I know I personally don't see often in this area. There's not a lot of things like it. And of course, with I told you mentioned to you earlier, I have a bunch of people in my family in the military. So once I saw this, I'm like, okay, like this really hits close to home. Because of course, so having people in the military in my family, it really kind of hits home for and not only myself, but to a lot of people as well. And when
Yeah.
people see Camp Freedom or other things and see activities for people in a military family or even veterans or whatever, and see something for themselves in case they're dealing with trauma or trying to figure out what to do after, survey or whatever it may be. I know when they see a place doing many activities, they're like, okay, let's go get active again. Like this is time to get back active. Like, let's just say 5 years ago when I was serving.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. As it Pennsylvania has this huge component of not only folks that have served through the active duty, but that there's a huge National Guard and Reserve component that's here in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
So far, we've had individuals from over 41 states come here and visit us on the property and be a part of it. And so sometimes when we're in the service and we're doing these things, is that we're around people that are the same age of us, and then we get out of the service, is that sometimes it may be difficult for folks that are transitioning back into civilian life, or maybe they've just been inactive, or maybe they've had a desire to get back outdoors, but they just don't know how to do it, or they don't know how to get their foot in the door to be able to do that. And so we treat everyone with kindness and with love and caring, as they come up here, and many people are in different places in their journey. Some people are really going through a tough time and really struggling. And some people have this component to where, just like what we do in the service, is that we want to help other people that are around us. And so they'll come here and they'll volunteer and they'll help out some of the guys and gals that are coming up here to visit and give them the lay of the land and help them out with what they'd like to do outdoors. So it's really neat.
It really is. And of course, so like you said, people travel from 41 states, which is insane. With people traveling from all over the country. But how have people that came to visit or even participated reacted to this program?
Sure. It's been one of those things where it's just it's almost undescribable to watch people come in and come through the door and just see some of the stress and some of the relief that they get see the stress come off of them, and then the relief that they get once they're here. Um, and and it's amazing to talk about is that, people have asked me all the time is that they're like, well, how can the outdoors help somebody? How can it heal somebody? Or how can taking someone hunting be something that they enjoy, or something that they get some kind of relief from. And we've had a lot of great feedback is that people talk about even coming up our driveway, just the serenity and the peace that they feel, the quietness of being outdoors. And one of the things that we do here as a staff is that we treat everyone with love and kindness, and we respect them, and we respect their service and what they've done for us here in the United States. And I think people feel that right out of the gate when they come here and they spend time with us. And so when they're here and they feel like they're honored and they feel like they're respected, and that they're treated with that kindness, is that it's a lot easier for them to relax and to enjoy an outdoor space. And then also that leads into them talking to us more to go, hey, I'm really struggling with, let's say, PTSD, right? Is that they're struggling with PTSD. They went through some sort of trauma in their life that they're still struggling with and still dealing with. And so we're able to help them get some of the local resources that we use to get them that specific care that they need, so that they can be better for themselves and their family. So it's really, really neat.
Like that's kind of what I feel like camp freedom is all about. Because of course, when you're serving in the military, I know a lot of people come back from wherever they were, whether it's like Iraq or Canada, wherever, Afghanistan, whatever they serve. Because of course, not a lot of people go out of country to stay in the United States. And so whenever people just travel and come back and get, just end it all with the military or whatever. And they're like, okay, I suffer PTSD. I don't know how to get back to what I was before that. Like, all I know is the military. All I know is
Yep.
serving, working out. Like, I know tons of people that are probably currently serving or want to go serve at the next couple of years. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and think to myself, like, it's just like there's so many things that go into it. And you might not become the same person you were before you served. Some people come out in different personalities and might not be the same. And
Sure.
so, like, what kind of have you seen the most in people's reactions in terms of how they felt after they came back from serving?
Sure. Is that, and I know a lot of times too, is that it's, the service, especially nowadays, is that we've been, our country has been in sustained combat for over 20 years. And it's the longest in the U.S. history to be able to serve in combat and do some of these things. So first of all, when you talk about that, is that there's numerous studies that are out there about our servicemen and women that are, because of technology, because of extensions in body armor and various things, is that they're able to sustain and to continue to live through injuries that, let's say, 40, 50 years ago, they wouldn't have been able to survive, right? And so, and with that is that they come back with a variety of different things that they may be dealing with. But what I always do when I talk about service is that a lot of us have this deep need that's inside of us to serve and to be a part of a mission that's greater than ourselves. And so a lot of service members, will echo this, to where when you're in a unit and when you're with guys and girls that they are selfless, and that are willing to give their life to protect you and to protect their friends and family in that are back home, you cannot describe that and put that into words. That it's something that's very, very special to be a part of something like that. And it changes you. It changes your mentality, and it teaches you this mentality to put service above self and service before self, so that the mission is greater than you, and that it has a lot of components that come along with it. And so some of the things that we see is that it starts off with just simple transition, is that you go from being in these type of units where you feel that, okay, well, now I'm trying to transition back into civilian life. And it's difficult to go from, let's say, a very tight knit unit where you're doing something that's very, very dangerous together, to go and now you're working on an accounting spreadsheet for a bank, right? Is that it's just a huge difference in your responsibilities and your jobs. So that can be very, very difficult for some people. And then you take that to the extreme, to where There are guys and gals that have been just injured in service, right? Is that they were injured in training, they were injured, while they were off base and stuff like that, and so they may have this feeling of being disconnected from the service, and then not necessarily feeling like they're a part of civilian life yet. So that can be a struggle for folks. Then you also see a variety. PTSD is a big word that people are using, that post traumatic stress disorder, and that some people really struggle with a variety of things from that, and that could be a combat related, post traumatic stress, or it could be the injury that was sustained, or something that happened to them while they were in the military. Um, so we see the full gamut of it. But what's great about it is that, providing this environment where they can just be themselves and not feel judged or not feel that they're lesser than other people, it provides them that opportunity to talk with us and to be around us and to go, hey, these are some of the steps that you can take to be better, right? Is that I can show you that there's peace out here in the woods. I can show you that this quietness can help, and I can show you that just being out here with your family and fishing will help you get back on the path that you need to be successful with. So,
Oh, I love it. That's so interesting.
yeah,
There's so many
yeah,
ways that I know with a lot of people, they use many different activities, whether it's fishing, like you said, to get rid of, that gut feeling of thinking about, what's bothering them, their PTSD
mhm,
or whatever they went through, wherever they got injured in
right,
combat or a war, like who knows, it could be anything.
yeah,
And with
yeah,
that, it can be very difficult to kind of go live life as after because we're finding activities like you just don't know what activities you're interested in
right,
after you're done serving. So it's very interesting to see kind of Camp Freedom and others come together to help veterans from the whole US. I know you guys have people from 41 states come, which is awesome, but to have kind of people come together in 41 states, which is crazy to reach that far.
yeah. It's been an absolute blessing. Is that as we've reached out and people have reached out to us through social media, and that's been a big platform for us to talk about what we provide here and kind of what we do. People have just found us and just continue to reach out and do some of those things. I always talk about too, like, as young servicemen and women, we may grow up doing an activity that we really enjoy, right? Whether that's fishing or hunting, or riding a bicycle, or enjoying the outdoors. One of the big things about our facility is that all of our outdoor spaces, and especially when we hunt, and like when we do 3D archery, is that it's all ADA compliant. So what that means is that we can get anyone who's in a wheelchair, or that uses a track chair, into a hunting blind, right? Or we can get them out on our 3D archery course, and they can shoot a 3D archery course by using a wheelchair, or if they have a mobility issue or something like that, is that they can get out and they can do those things again. And so you give them the opportunity to show them that, hey, you may have really enjoyed doing this activity, when you were younger or when you were in service and injured, but there are still adaptations and things that you can do to still enjoy that activity, and we can help you do that. And
Mhm.
through that little glimmer, and when you push that window open just a little bit, they go, oh, okay, well, I can shoot a bow again, right? Or I can go fishing again, right? So where else can I do this? Or where can I go on another trip? Or can I go to another facility? Or can I get out in the woods and do this by myself,
Mhm.
by showing them that they're still able to do those things outdoors?
And I wanted to ask you, like, what was kind of like the idea behind Camp Freedom when it was created?
Sure. Is it so? Our founder is Bill Bockenberg, and he is one of the most generous men that I've ever met in my entire life. Bill Bockenberg is the owner of Lehigh Valley Sporting Clays, and it is a world renowned sporting clay facility. And one of the really really neat things about it, that a lot of people don't pay attention to, is that his facility is fully ADA compliant. So that means is that there were individuals that were coming to Lehigh Valley Sporting Clays, and they weren't able to access some of the shooting ports that were there many, many years ago. One of our close and dear friends that had passed away, Chuck Cocodrilli, was in a wheelchair. and he was a very, very big advocate for shooting sports and especially with sporting clays. And he had talked to Bill and had this conversation about helping to get the entire course paved and wheelchair ramps for some of the shooting ports. And so Bill made sure that that was done. And so the entire facility is able to go with you're able to go around it in golf carts and then take wheelchairs around it and be able to do that. And so with that being said, is that Bill had always wanted to have a facility where individuals with disabilities could come up and enjoy the outdoors again. And so 6 years ago, he and Matt Gatus come up with a plan to put this thing together and move forward with. He had attained the property about 9 years ago, and 6 years, from that is that they put this plan together and said, "Hey, let's do this, and let's specifically serve disabled veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members, and give them the opportunity to get back in the outdoors." So,
Ooh, that's really interesting. Like I love how like they like based off of I know with my personal experience with talking to a million people from these podcasts, I know what a lot of people usually have experienced or even a work a job or something and they find inspiration and start something, whether it's a Camp Freedom or different
right.
businesses, organizations, whatever that may be. It can be a million things. There's tons of things
Yeah.
that many people can do. But how I know you kind of wrapped a little bit of this question earlier, but how does Camp Freedom help our American heroes with outdoor activities?
Yeah, absolutely. Is that so? There's numerous studies that have been done out there that talk about specifically how the outdoor space has the potential to heal individuals that are out there. Is that by doing outdoor activities, getting outdoors, and just simply taking a walk and enjoying the peace and quiet of the woods and the outdoors can help individuals who are struggling with all kinds of things from anxiety, depression, post traumatic stress to just de-stressing at the end of the day. So there's multiple studies that talk about that. And so what we try to do with our true heroes that come here and these people who have served and given so much is that we want to provide them an opportunity to come here and just be themselves and honor them and honor their service. And I keep saying that because there are a lot of programs that are out there. There are a lot of inpatient programs, there are outpatient programs that are going to treat you specifically for something that you may be struggling with. And so, what we always try to do is that we try to have an open door to where folks will just come enjoy the outdoors through an activity that they enjoy doing and then as they describe to us what's going on or what they're struggling with, to get them the resources that they have. We are huge proponents of the VA components here in Wayne County and Lackawanna to get help with whether it's disability ratings or getting other help that they need. We're a huge proponent. There's another nonprofit that's close with us called Equines for Freedom. Equines for Freedom does a very in-depth PTSD program where they have psychologists and psychiatrists that are on staff with them. So we don't have any of them here or anyone that's trained to do that, but we have a ton of these resources that are at hand to go, okay, we want you to come know us, come meet us and build that trust with us so that we can help you on your journey and figure out what you need.
That is brilliant. Like I have to check that organization out because that's something that I think I know a lot of people would take from.
Yeah,
So I definitely would definitely share that on social media. But before
yeah.
we wrap up, like I wanted to ask, how can people find more information about Camp Freedom?
Absolutely. So the easiest way is to go to our website. That's Camp Freedom, PA is in Pennsylvania.org. All of our events are listed on there. You can find all of our guided hunting applications on there. All of our guided fishing applications are on there. You can learn more about the staff. There's some videos that will tell you about who we are and what's going on. And there's also information on there about how to donate to our organization and help us with our mission. The other thing that we do is that we try to Bailey does such a wonderful job with our social media and on all of our media at that aspect of it, but we try to have a huge social media presence to where we're talking about the various stories of our heroes that come here with us, and then the things that we do on a day-to-day basis to make this place the very best that it can. So we're always posting information about our events and fundraising events that we're doing and the various things that go on here. So
Awesome. I will make sure to put all the like links and stuff to your website and social media and link below for everyone to check out. I totally recommend checking this amazing organization out. It is awesome. And I really appreciate you for everything you're doing. And it's definitely much needed, especially in this area. I know we have a lot of veterans in this community that are probably looking for these types of activities and looking to get out and do something, get active. So I really want to thank you so much for everything you're doing, and it really is making a difference in this community.
well, thank you so much, Kylie, and I really appreciate you having me on, and it's been an honor, and thank you for all that you do. Is that that you do some really interesting stuff to help out in your community and highlight some of us, and the work that you're doing for women in the media and helping people with anxiety and depression. It's just it's truly impressive. So keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And make sure to everyone, make sure to subscribe and rate, check them out. And I'll stay tuned for more episodes. We have a lot planned, so make sure to stay tuned. But I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day. And thank you so much, JB, for coming on and enjoy the rest of your day as well.
Thank you. You too.